Hello dear students, welcome back to the video classes of class 7 science, and today we are going to learn chapter number 4, that is heat, and this is the part first of this chapter. So let's start it. In this chapter you are going to learn about heat. So in science, what is the definition of heat we will learn in this chapter. Then we will learn about the temperature, how you can define temperature. Then we will learn thermometer and measuring scales. So in thermometer we have three type of thermometer that we have to learn, which are the first clinical thermometer, second laboratory thermometer, and third maximum minimum thermometer. And the first two thermometer, that is the clinical thermometer and laboratory thermometer, we will cover in this chapter, and the last one, that is the maximum minimum thermometer, we will cover it in the next chapter, that is in chapter number 7, weather, climate and adaptation in animals. Then we will learn about measuring scale. So we have three type of measuring scales that we have to learn. The first one is Celsius scale, that is the degree Celsius scale, degree Fahrenheit scale and Kelvin scale. And we will also learn the interconversion among them. Then we have to learn that how we can read a thermometer accurately or correctly. Then we will learn transfer of heat. In this we will learn basically three type of modes of transfer of heat, which are, the first one is conduction, the second is convection, and the third is radiation. We will learn it in the next video. Then we will learn thermos flask. So let's start it one by one. First is heat. So what is heat? Students, before we are going to know about heat, I want to ask some questions from you and you will try to give answer. So my first question is, do you feel hot or cold in the month of December or January if you are living the northern part of the country? What's your answer? Yes, you will feel cold if you are living in the northern part of our country. But students, why is it that you feel cold when you visit a hilly area like Kashmir or Shimla? Even during the month of May or June, like in May or June in this season, we are feeling so hot, but the people who live in Kashmir or Shimla, they feel so cold. So why this has happened, and what do you do to fight the cold conditions? You may wear woolen cloth like coat, sweater, or you may play in the sun and heat your room with heaters. So students, like these type of questions, we will uh, we will try to find the answers of these questions one by one. So now let's start it. Most of us or you use the term heat to mean something that feels warm, right? Like when you are feeling warm, then you will say that it is the heat. But science defines heat in somewhat different way. Science defines heat as a flow of energy from a warmer body to a cooler object. And heat is a form of energy. So, heat energy can be transferred from one object to another object. And The transfer or the flow due to the difference in the temperature between the two objects, that is called heat. So heat is always transferred from the hotter object to the cool object. So simply heat is a form of energy, and when work is done, like when you are doing something, then energy is produced, and this energy may be in the form of heat. Like students, when you are rubbing your hand, you will feel warm, because in that case you are doing some work, and this work done is in the form of heat energy. This work done produces heat energy. Then we have temperature. So students, what do you think? What is temperature, or what it will tell you? Yes, temperature is a physical quantity that expresses hot or cold. It is the manifestation of thermal energy present in all matter, which is the source of occurrence of heat, a flow of energy when a body is in contact with another, that is colder or hotter. So, temperature is just a physical quantity which express hotness or coldness. Or you can also say that temperature is the measure of degree of hotness or coldness of a body. Now students, let us know that how we can feel. Suppose as in this activity, in front of you there is three tub, okay, and the first tub in which there is ice cold water, and it is labeled as A. The second is the B, in which the normal water tap water is kept, and the third one, it has some warm water. So students, you can do this activity at your home also. You have to arrange these type of things, like here in this first tap you have to keep some ice cold water. In the second uh, tab you have to keep some normal water, okay, and the third one you have to take some warm water. Now what you have to do, you have to put your hand one by one in all these containers, okay. Like here it is written that you have to take 3 vessels or bucket if you want to do this experiment. Then you have to put your hand in the container first. So students, what do you think, what do you feel, or what you feel when you will put your hand in the ice cold water? Of course you feel so cold. Then you have to put your hand in the warm water. What do you think at this time? Is you feel the same? No, at this time you will feel, your hand feel some warmness or hotness. But when you will put your hand, both the hands in the container B together, then what do you feel at that time? As you have said that in the first case you will feel cool, where in the second case you will feel hot. But when you will put your both the hands together in the container B, you will feel both type of sensation. Even this is the normal water, not the hot or cold water. So this activity proves that your body cannot measure temperature accurately. So what do you do? What we should take to measure the temperature? Because in some cases it is very important that we have to measure the temperature accurately. So what instrument do we use? Let us find out. Here we have thermometer. For measuring temperature accurately, we have thermometer, and it is made up of thin, long, uniform glass that is known as capillary tube. So this capillary tube, it is very fine tube and it has bulb at its one end. Bulb is what? It is not the bulb that glow. It is simply a apparatus that is fixed at the end of it, and it will sensitize the hotness or the coldness. Then we have silver colored liquid, that is the mercury, and this mercury, it is filled in this capillary tube. Like if you are imagine that this is the capillary tube. Okay, this is not that much thick, it is very fine tube, glass tube, and in this the mercury is filled, and this mercury it is the metal which is liquid at room temperature. So students, this thing you always have to remember, that mercury, it is the metal which is liquid at room temperature. No other metal can be liquid at room temperature other than mercury. So this mercury, it is filled in this capillary tube, and it will gives you the reading of the temperature. So it is also known as thermometric fluid. Fluid is what? It is the substance which have ability to flow, and this mercury, it has ability to flow. So here, why we are using mercury in the capillary tube? This question may arise in your mind. So let us find out. As I have told you that mercury, it is the only metal which is liquid at room temperature. Right? And this mercury, it has ability to expand easily and uniformly on heating. Like when the bulb, it will sensitize that there is something warm, then immediately this mercury, it is filled in that capillary, it will goes rises. Okay, so this mercury, it has ability to expand uniformly. And the second is, it can be used over a wide range of temperature, and it is easily visible. As you have already studied that this mercury, it is somewhat silver in color, and due to this you can read the reading easily when it is moving in the capillary tube. And the most important thing about mercury is, it do not stick with the walls of the glass or the capillary tube. It do not stick with it. So that is why mercury, it is known as a thermometric fluid. Then students, let us know about the scales that we are using to measure a temperature. Students, you are aware with the different scales, like if you are measuring the length, then you will say that there is 2 kilometer, 3 centimeter, millimeter. Okay, so like this we have different scales for measuring temperature also. Like we have Celsius scale, we have Fahrenheit scale, Kelvin scale. This Fahrenheit scale, it is used in the US and the Brazil area, and we are in India, we are using the Celsius scale mostly. The Kelvin scale, it is very important because it will tell you or started with the absolute zero, and it is also known as the accurate scale, and this is used throughout the world, and that is why it is known as the SI unit. As you know that SI unit of the length, it is the meter, and of the weight, it is the kilogram. So in the same way here also, the SI unit of temperature, it is the Kelvin. So never forget this also. And this Celsius, it is represented as capital C. So if you are here you can represent it with degree Celsius. This Fahrenheit, it is also represented as capital F, and this Kelvin, it is represented as capital K. Suppose if the temperature is 37 Kelvin, then you will write 37 K. So in that way you can use the Kelvin scale. So students, these scales, these are interconvertible. Like you can convert degree Celsius into degree Fahrenheit also, or you can convert degree Celsius into Kelvin, or vice versa is also possible. So we have two formulas, as you can see. The first one, it will represent you the conversion of Celsius to Fahrenheit. Let us see how you can convert it. So this formula, it will be for the conversion of Celsius to Fahrenheit. Suppose if a temperature is given to you like 32 degrees Celsius, then if you are trying to convert this degree Celsius into Fahrenheit, then this will be also possible by using this formula. So it is F, that means the Fahrenheit scale, is equal to 9/5, and here C, that means here you have to write the temperature which is given in degrees Celsius, and this we have to add it by 32. This second formula, it will represent you for the conversion of Fahrenheit into degree Celsius. So this formula, it is somewhat different from the first one. Like here you have to do 5/9 in the bracket Fahrenheit, that means the temperature which is given in Fahrenheit you have to write here also, and you have to multiply it by 32. So these two formulas you can use to convert degree Celsius into Fahrenheit or Fahrenheit into degree Celsius. Here we have a question. Let us solve it. In this question, students, you have to convert 37 degrees Celsius into Fahrenheit. So how can you do this? Try to solve it by your own. You can apply the formula. So for solving this, you can write Fahrenheit is equal to 9/5 C. That means the temperature which is given in degrees Celsius, and you have to plus it 32. So put the value of C, 9/5. Here I am writing 37 at the place of C and add it 32. So students, you have to multiply it first, then what you will get? 333, and then you will divide it by 5. So on dividing this, you can get 66.5. Then you have to add it with 32. What you will get? You get 98.6. The unit is now degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so like this you can solve many more questions. So solve it. I am giving some more questions, like you can solve 32 degrees Celsius, convert it into Fahrenheit, and you can also convert 116 degree Fahrenheit into Kelvin. So students, these two questions you will try to do at your home by your own. Here we have the conversion of Kelvin into degree Celsius and vice versa. So in this you can convert Celsius into Kelvin scale also, or you can convert the Kelvin into degree Celsius also. For this you can use the formula, that is See, that means the temperature which is in degrees Celsius, and you have to write it with the Kelvin and minus it with 273.15. So we have question for it. Let us try to do this. So here students, try to solve it. 35 degrees Celsius, convert it into Kelvin. How you can do this? You can apply this formula. For solving this, you can apply this formula. K is equal to C plus 273.15. Nothing you have to do here, just add it with 35, 273. After addition, what you will get, that will be in Kelvin scale. Okay, so like this you can convert degree Celsius into Kelvin or vice versa. So here do it. 98 degrees Celsius into Kelvin. Try to convert it into Kelvin. I think now you can convert it. This is so simple. Again you have to add 98 and 273.15. Then students, let us know about the thermometer. So basically we have to learn about three types of thermometer. The first one is clinical thermometer. It is also known as doctor's thermometer. As its name represents, it is used by the doctors for measuring the temperature of your body. The second one is the laboratory thermometer. So this you can use for measuring the temperature of different substances, of different chemicals that scientists or the students basically done in the laboratory. Then we have maximum minimum thermometer. So students, what do you think? For what purpose you can use this maximum minimum thermometer? Yes, for finding the temperature of the day you can use this thermometer. Like in a day there are two types of temperatures that is given by the meteorologist. The first one is the maximum temperature, that will gives you the knowledge of the highest temperature of the day, and here we have the minimum temperature that will gives you the knowledge of what is the minimum temperature that is going to be on that day. So this will be used by the meteorologist in meteorological department. And students, do you know where is the Meteorological Department of India situated? Yes, that will be in the Lodi Road, New Delhi. And where is the Meteorological Department of, that is the International Department of Meteorological? International Meteorological Department, do you know? Try to find out by your own. Here we have clinical thermometer. So this thermometer, it is used in the clinics, and that is why its name is clinical thermometer. And its reading is, it will read 35 degrees Celsius, from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius only. And the normal human body temperature is 37 degrees Celsius. So our body temperature, it may drop up to 35 degrees Celsius, or it may rises up to 42 degrees Celsius. It may never goes above 42 degrees Celsius, because it is the severe cases and the body suffer from lot of difficulties, or there is a chance of not survival in that case. So that is why the human body temperature, it is 37 degrees Celsius, and the clinical thermometer, it will gives you the knowledge of your body temperature from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius. And it is different from the laboratory thermometer because it has a slight bend just near the bulb, that is also known as the kink. Like if this is the thermometer tube, then here just near the bulb it has a little bit bent structure just near the bulb. Okay, so here there is the kink in the laboratory thermometer. This is present because to hold the mercury on its level. If there is no kink is present, sorry, it is kink. If there is no kink or the bend is not present in the capillary tube, then after removing the clinical thermometer from your mouth, this temperature goes down at the very fast rate. So this is stopped by the bend structure that is present in the clinical thermometer just near the bulb. So here you can see there is the thermometer. This will be just red line, it will show you the normal human body temperature, 37 degrees Celsius. This is the normal body temperature, that is 37 degrees Celsius. And here you can see there is a bulb, there is a bend, that is the kink, and this metallic structure, this is known as the bulb. So never be confused with the bulb that is glowing. It is not that bulb, it is just a metallic structure that is present in the tip of the thermometer. In both the tips, in the mercury, in the clinical thermometer also, and in the laboratory thermometer. So here you can see there is the kink, and this is the fine tube which is present inside it, that is known as capillary tube, on which there are numbers written like 37 degree, 36, 37, like that up to 42 only. And here there is the bulb. This bulb, goes into your mouth. Okay, so this goes into your mouth or in the armpit. So this will be sensitized, and immediately this mercury, which is now in the red color, so this mercury, it will start moving upward. When it will sensitize, it will take the knowledge of high temperature, then immediately this mercury, it is expanding and goes up into the capillary tube and gives the reading of your body temperature. Now let us know that what precautions we have to take while taking the reading of your body with the clinical thermometer. So firstly, students, you have to wash the thermometer accurately or properly before and after the use. It is very important that you should wash it before and after use. Then you will before measuring the temperature, make sure that mercury level is below 35 degrees Celsius. Then you have to keep the bulb properly under your tongue or the arm at least for 1 minute. So for at least 1 minute you have to keep that in your mouth, and if you are taking it in the mouth, then you have to put the bulb under your tongue and never hold the thermometer by its bulb. So bulb, it is very sensitive part of the thermometer, and you should never hold the thermometer by its bulb, because when the bulb get warm, its mercury that is present in it, it will immediately expand and move on. Okay, and in that case you will never get the good reading or the accurate reading. So never hold the mercury thermometer by the bulb reason. So students, nowadays we are using digital thermometer. As you all know that this mercury, it is so much toxic and it is a metal. So its disposal is very much difficult. That is why this classical clinical thermometer, it is replaced by the digital thermometer. Now let us know about the laboratory thermometer. So it is used in the labs, and the range that it will measure is from -10 degree Celsius to up to 110 degrees Celsius. It will never goes down and it will never goes up 110 degrees Celsius. So it is measuring the temperature from -10 degrees Celsius up to 110 degrees Celsius. That means it can measure or it can give the reading in the negative also. You can measure very cold thing with the help of this laboratory thermometer. And students, if you are giving so much high temperature to the thermometer, then its bulb or this thermometer will break and this harmful mercury or toxic mercury spread. Okay, so that is why its handling should be very much proper, and you should take care of when you are handling this thermometer. So following precautions you have to take. The first one is, it should always be kept upright or not tilted. When you are taking the reading with the help of the laboratory thermometer, suppose if in a beaker this laboratory thermometer is there, then you have to hold it straight. Okay, not like this. Never do this. Okay, you have to put into this beaker straight. It should always be in upright position and not be tilted. And the bulb, it will never dip so deeply. Like here you can see this thermometer, it is not touching the wall of the vessel, and in that case this will gives you the good reading. So you should maintain a proper distance from the vessel. It is very important also. And the bulb should not be touched the base or the side of the container, because here the base is so much warm, and if you will put the thermometer on the base, if it touch the base, then it's mercury, it will this thermometer will break. There is a chance of breakage, and this toxic chemical it will released out. So never, it should be important that this bulb, it will not touches the base or the side of the container. So students, try to follow these precautions when you are using or when you are handling these thermometers. As you can see here, this is the laboratory thermometer. Here there is the base, that is the bulb. Okay, so this bulb, it is very much sensitized, and if you are trying to measure the temperature, then you should maintain a proper distance from the vessel. Okay, it should not touch the vessel. In that case this will be break. Okay, so never touch this bulb to the container or the side of it. Then here there is a liquid, as this red liquid, it is the mercury. Okay, and this is the capillary tube. So capillary tube is what? It is the very fine tube. Inside it the mercury is filled, and this whole body, it is known as the glass stem. Okay, so this is all about the thermometer, and I think now you know that what is the importance of thermometer, because your hand, it will not measure the temperature accurately. That is why this clinical thermometer or laboratory thermometer and maximum minimum thermometer are used nowadays. So this is all about it. Thank you students, and keep on revising.